Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Simple Art for Adults. My name is Erin, and today was supposed to be Sunday Fun Day, but now it's Monday Fun Day because I wasn't feeling very well and couldn't get in front of the camera. So we are doing Monday Fun Day today, and we're going to color another Christmas ornament. Before we get started, I do just want to show you the little goodie that I picked up, a little coloring buddy. I picked up a purpley, sparkly, glittery, sequiny hummingbird at Walmart in the Christmas department for $1.49, and he has this cute little clip on him, so you can clip him to something. Haven't decided what quite to do with him yet, but for right now he's just going to kind of sit on my desk and keep me company. So there's that. So what I thought we would do today is we'll do our second ornament. And I thought we would do it in traditional Christmas red and green. So we have our carmine red, that's our main red, and our apple green, that's our main green. To go along with the carmine red, we're going to need blush pink and magenta. And to go along with the apple green, we're going to need lime peel and olive green. And I do have all those out, sharpened, and ready to go. For the small little spaces, like the little candle looking things and the little teardrop looking doodads, what I'm going to do is I have my metallic gold pencil that should also be in the Prismacolor 72 set, and I'm going to color those with that. So without further ado, let's zoom in and we'll get colory and chatty a little bit today. If I can color, I may be a little rusty. So what I'm going to do, because I'm going to do stripes, we're going to do red, green, red, green, red, green. So that is the goal. The little tiny little stripes here, I think I'm going to also do those in gold. So I'm going to ignore those for now. So I'm going to start with green, and our lightest green is going to be the lime peel, is what we chose for our light. So I'm going to start with lime peel, and I'm just going to go in with very light layers and fill in this whole area. So how has everybody else's day been? I know I made a comment in the Facebook group that I wasn't feeling incredibly well, and apparently I'm not the only one. A lot of you guys aren't feeling so hot recently. I hope everybody starts getting over the sickness pretty soon, because I know it's not any fun. Our main color is going to be apple green. So what we want to do is we want to pull that out most of the way out toward the center. We're going to use a very light touch, and we're just going to fill it in. We're going to leave a strip of the lime peel because that is going to be our highlight, so we do want to leave a small amount of it behind. Just a small strip, not much. And then finally, we have olive green for our dark color. So I'm going to use that, and we're going to go just along the edges with a light layer. It's been such a busy week too. Things have been absolutely just crazy. So I haven't gotten nearly as much done as I'd like. Haven't responded to any of the YouTube comments as much as I like, or as much as I normally would. So if that applies to you and you've left a comment on one of the videos and I haven't replied to it yet, I'm going to try to get to all those tomorrow morning. So just hold tight. I promise I'll see it. I'll get to it. Things kind of go crazy whenever you don't feel well for a day or two. You start to feel a little bit overwhelmed with things. Now I'm just kind of going back and doing the same things again. Being very careful out here with my apple green that I don't press too hard out by the lime peel, because I don't want to ruin my highlighted area. I want to make sure that I keep that pretty highlight there. And then a little bit more of the olive. Can go nice and dark up here against the edge. And then just very lightly kind of feather it out into the apple. And then for the last layer, I'm going to take the apple, or the lime peel, and just go over the whole thing with a nice heavy pressure, and that'll blend it all together. All right, so there is our layer of green. So now for red, our lightest color, we chose carmine red for our red. And the lightest color for that is a blush pink, which is here. So we're going to go ahead and start filling in our next stripe on our ornament with blush pink. This color looks incredibly light, but it actually goes out pretty heavy. So we do want to be nice and light-handed with this, because it is a very concentrated pigment. Alright, and then our main color, of course, is going to be the carmine red, which is a red, but it has more of like a pink undertone. So we are going to go ahead and start that at the edge. We're going to bring it out to about here, just about here with a very light touch, and then bring it back. Again, we want that small layer of blush pink left in the center to be our highlight. Just a small little strip, that's all. That's all we need to indicate there's a highlight there. Alright, and for our darkest color, we chose magenta. So I'm going to go ahead on the very edges. And on the very, very edges, because you know that's going to be solid magenta, you can go ahead and give it a nice thick outline. And there we go. And we're just going to feather that out into our carmine red just a tiny little bit. That is lovely. Alright, so back to the blush pink. Starting in the middle, still using a light hand here. And carrying it all the way across, still using a light hand. And then all the way across back this way. And then one more time for our carmine red. Starting at the edge. Pulling it out toward the center. Remembering that we need to lighten our pressure as we get toward our highlight, because we don't want to cover the highlight up. Using about a medium pressure for this layer now, except for at the very edge where the highlight is. At that point I'm using a light pressure. Everywhere else I'm using medium pressure. Alright. Just trying to make sure I've got everything evenly covered here. I don't have any places that are lighter than others. And then finally, I'm going to take my magenta one more time and go back over this area just to be absolutely certain that I have it in there nice and dark, indicating that that's where the back of the ornament is starting to turn. Alright, and then the blush pink over the whole entire area. And then I'm going to have to clean this up with an eraser. My coloring skills are off because it has been a while since I've colored much of anything. Obviously. I did color a little bit the other night with Jen over at Reading with Pugs when she did her cozy coloring night. I did kind of sit in bed and doodle color a little bit, I guess you could call it. I didn't really try to do a whole great big lot. Alright, so I'm going to take my electric eraser and just clean up a couple places. Alright. And then I need to fix where I just accidentally erased a little. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and go in with my metallic gold and fill in these areas. And I'm just using a one-time heavy pressure just to get them nice and filled in. They're small areas, so we don't have to worry too much about seeing pencil lines or anything like that. And then this next stripe is also going to be done in the gold. So once again, just a single heavy layer is all you're going to need. And I think what I'm going to do is, to avoid putting my light colors in here because this gold is so dark, I'm going to go ahead and take it and go into these little areas before I color the stripe this time. And because it's so dark and because I'm going in so heavy, it should prevent any of the green from getting in there, I would hope. We shall see. But we have a lot of peach and beige and stuff happening in this row, so I thought it was time to be a little bit more festive. All right. So there is the gold for that. Now I'm going to take my lime peel and very lightly just kind of go over the whole stripe. That's going to give us a foundation to lay the rest of our colors down. So while we're here, and this is probably the only time that I'm going to address this from this point forward, I'm sure a lot of you are aware of the drama that's been happening in the color tube and Facebook community as far as coloring is concerned. Apparently there is one or more people who are extremely bothered by others' choices in art supplies, coloring supplies. In fact, bothered so much by them that they are personally attacking people for their choices in supplies. When I realized this was happening and when it was brought to my attention that this was happening, this person was removed from my group as well, mainly because it's my goal to keep a group that is 100% free from drama and negativity. I don't know about you guys, but I deal with enough drama and negative people in my day-to-day life, at work, the people that I interact with, you know, out in the world, when I read the news. There is more than enough negativity to go around, and I just went and left this little bitty stripe of lime peel and covered everything else up with the apple green. So now I'm taking the olive green again and going in on the sides. The point is, guys, is that we don't come to watch YouTube videos or join a Facebook group to share our colored pictures or to pick up tips and techniques from people. We don't do that because we want to surround ourselves with more negativity. We do that because all of us, every single one of us, me, the other YouTube creators, those of us who run the Facebook groups, every person who watches YouTube, every person who leaves a comment, every person who joins a Facebook group, every person who's willing to share their work with us, every person who's willing to share what they know, tips, tricks, their personal opinions about colored pencils or paper or coloring books. Every single one of those people, every single one of you, work hard, try hard to build a community that is safe, loving, caring, and supportive. And when someone or something threatens that, when the group that we work so hard to create, when the community as a whole that we all work so hard to maintain and create and keep a happy, safe environment is threatened by someone's anger and negativity, that someone that is the source of that anger and negativity is going to be removed from the group. And more than likely from the entire community, because we do band together. We do band together quite often, as a matter of fact. That's what we do. That's why we're here. We're here to support each other. We are here to support others in the community. And we will absolutely have one another's backs. That's what we do. So, you know, on the one hand, for a minute, I felt angry. I felt betrayed. I felt all kinds of different emotions, to be fair. But at the end of the day, what I felt was sorry for this person. It made me think that something horrible must have happened or be happening in this person's life to lead them to want to say some of the things they said and act in the way that they acted. Nevertheless, I cannot allow it to continue in my group. And I know that there are other people who are refusing to allow it to continue in their groups. And for the most part, of every group that I belong to, it's still a safe community minus that member, and that's how it's going to stay. That is all I'm going to address of it. From what I understand, I think the end of the drama has been, I think that's it. So I'm not too concerned about it anymore, and I hope you guys aren't either, to be honest. So like I said, I just went back and layered those colors back in again, just to kind of give it that, just to kind of make it look round and 3D. So for the next layer, I'm going to do the blush pink. Or the next stripe, I should say. So it's been so strange. I'm in southern Indiana. And the weather, like the other day it was up to 65 degrees at night in November. I left my bedroom window open all night because it felt so nice. It felt so good. And so the following evening, it stormed. Like, it stormed so bad that it blew a semi-truck over on the highway, was how bad it was. And so now it's freezing cold again. Alright, so blush pink, we went ahead and did this section and this section because they're both going to be pink. And now I'm going to start very lightly with the carmine red and pull it out. So I'm willing to bet that's why I haven't felt so hot lately. It's the perfect weather for viruses to thrive right now. And I think I have one kicking my booty. So, if I'm quieter than usual, I do apologize. It's not that I have nothing to say. I always have something to say. I talk. It's just that, I don't know. I can't think of things. Like, I have things I know to talk about, but I just can't think of any of them. So I'm still going with the carmine red. And we're going to start on this edge with the carmine red. And I'm using probably medium pressure, guys. But I'm lightening right now, starting to really lighten it up. So we pull it up to the highlight area. Alright. Go back this way. because I didn't get even color. All right, now with the magenta, we're going to go back in on the sides. Heavy pressure, like as an outline right there on that side, and then lighten it up a little bit and pull it in. Same thing on this side, very heavy pressure right up against the line, and then pull it in. Okay. Now we're going to take blush pink, which was our lightest color, and very lightly we're just going to kind of go over and blend everything together and see where we are. This doesn't have to be perfect. All right. Now I think we need more carmine, so I'm going to pull the carmine back out. Starting back at the edge, I'm just going to go a little heavier. And start lightening right about here into the highlight. So very light right here, and then start darkening. Even coverage all the way back to the edge. Same thing up here. Nice, dark, heavy pressure. And then we get right about here, we're going to start lightening just a little so we can get it all the way down into the highlight. And then light pressure here. Start darkening. Even coverage. All the way back to the edge. Alright. Finally, one more time with the blush pink. This time we are going to use a medium to heavy pressure. And we're just going to go over the whole thing just to kind of blend all the colors together. The blush pink is a little opaque, so you may notice it changing colors just a little bit as you blend. It's going to lighten up on us just a little, but that's okay. All right. I'm going to clean up my little spots. All right, nice and clean. Okie dokie. So, one more time with the lime peel. We're going to do all our, actually, no, let's not do that. Let's do these in our gold first. Because the last time it worked out pretty well. We didn't get any of the lime peel in the gold embellishments. So that makes it easier. I did get out today for a while. I went to Walmart, of course. I got my little hummingbird. And I looked around at the Christmas decorations and things, and it just reminded me how thankful I am that we're going to be moving soon, because I have such a small house. And, you know, when my kids were little, it didn't really matter so much. But now that, you know, we've been here for almost 10 years, and the kids are older, and we've accumulated a lot of stuff, and we've quite literally outgrown our house. So it is time to move forward on to bigger and better things. This is lime peel again. This is the lightest in the greens that we chose. So we are still looking for a place in our area where we live, trying to rent a house that allows dogs is impossible. So we're looking into options to buy a house as well. My credit is like not quite where it needs to be to buy a house without someone else buying that house with me. This is back to apple green. We do have down payment money saved for the most part, which is a good thing. So now we just need to work on our credit scores, which we had intended on doing anyway. We had intended to work on that over the next 2 years and get things in order where we could buy a house. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to stay in this house for another 2 years because it feels like an episode of Hoarders. So at this point, we're looking for a place to rent temporarily, a place that will allow me to bring my dogs. But it's impossible because no landlords like dogs, and I understand why. You have those tenants who aren't very good fur parents and who don't train their animals well and who will let them use the bathroom in the house and chew on things and destroy things. And I've seen dogs do thousands of dollars worth of damage in rental houses. So, you know, I do understand. I really do. It's just for people like myself who have, well, you know, I have well-trained dogs. I've had them for 5 years. They don't chew. They go outside. They're good dogs. It doesn't matter because I'm sure every tenant before me probably said the exact same thing. So that's kind of where we are with that situation right now, and it's a little depressing. But we're still looking. We're not giving up hope. So in case I'm not calling out the colors here, guys, I'm just going back over and layering where we were. This is the apple green, and I'm pulling it right up to the highlight area with a very light pressure, and then moderate pressure, kind of moderate to heavy pressure. As I get back out this way, we put the apple green right up against the edge, right up here. And I think that's pretty well got that one done. So let's take our lime peel and one more time with a moderate to heavy pressure. Just going to go over all the whole green area, the whole thing. And that's going to mix all our colors together and help it to blend seamlessly. All right, so now we have another gold stripe here, so we'll go ahead and do that. And this is just the gold Prismacolor metallic gold pencil. One heavy application. If you don't like to use heavy pressure or your hands won't allow you to use heavy pressure, just use 2 normal layers in that case. It'll look the same for the most part. And then we'll fill in these little holes or dots or whatever you want to call them. And then again with the green. Greens are very last. It's going to go at the bottom. Excuse me there, guys. I had to get comfortable. I have this thing where I sit on my feet. I don't know if any of you all do that, but I sit on my feet. And after a while, it starts to go numb. So I had to shift. Put my feet on the floor for a while. I just noticed also that I have like a little gap right here with my pink, so I'm going to fix that. There we go. Had like a little gap where it wasn't, had a tiny little bit of white space showing through. Alright, so we're going to put our highlight like here and here, so very light here, and then pull it back. In this case, I started heavier, so I'm going to get lighter as I go toward that highlight. Now we've got the olive green, and this time we're going to start down here, and we're going to come all the way up. We can use a heavy pressure. We know for certain that's going to be olive green. And I'm just going to do like right here on the little tail. I'm just using a real light pressure and pulling that up. And I'm going to use a light pressure and feather this out into the apple green just a tiny little bit so we don't have such a visible line. Same here. And I'm going to take the apple green again. We're going to start at that edge. And using a medium pressure, we're just going to kind of blend those two colors together. And we're going to pull it out toward the center, but we're going to lessen our pressure as we get toward our highlight. And again, we're going to darken our pressure as we get closer to the edge. And for the final layer, we're just going to go back over everything with lime peel. And I'm going to use a nice hard pressure to make sure I filled in all the white space and all three of the colors are blended together smoothly. And that is that ornament. I do have a few little smudges, so I'm going to pick those up. Get those off of there. So then we have our red and green ornament. Let me zoom out because it'll look a little different to you once you see it zoomed out. That one looks nice and festive. And as you can see, the little bit lighter colors we put right in the center makes the middle of it look a little bit nice and shiny. So I'm going to take my silver gel pen and I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the metallic parts. And I do kind of have to hold it up, so you guys may not be able to see so well what how I'm coloring this, because I have to hold it straight up almost to get the gel to come out correctly. There we go. And we're going to be very careful because that's going to need to dry before we do much of anything else with it. Okay, so the next ornament that I want to do is going to be this one. And I think I'm going to do this one in purple and red. Because we already have the beige here and the peach here, so I don't want to put it here because I don't want the colors next to each other. So I think this one will do the purples and the reds. So in this case, I'm going to start out with lilac. And I'm going to do the outside of the star. Just going to color it in lilac. This is one of my favorite Prismacolor colors, in case you guys can't tell. It's going to have to go on a pencil extender soon. And I have a backup, so don't worry. I think, as a matter of fact, I even have a backup of the backup. I just love this color so much. And we're also going to do the swirls, purple. Now the ornament next to it, we're going to do in some lighter colors. So we'll do like in the beige or the pink, and then we'll pick like an accent color. Maybe we'll do the Tuscan red again. Maybe we'll do, well, I think it would probably have to be, if we're not going to have two colors next to each other, it would almost have to be the Tuscan red for just the small amount of accent. But I think it would look lovely. The general consensus was that this ornament, the background should be filled in. So that is what we are going to do. And then we're going to take our dark purple. And what I would like to do is make the corners darkest and put the highlight in the middle of each, little area. So just like this. Oh, I guess I could zoom back in, guys. My bad. I didn't even think to zoom back in. Maybe you guys can see what I'm doing now. So the dark purple is coming out almost to the center, but not quite. We're leaving just a small amount of lilac right there in the middle for the highlight area. And that's of each side of the star, each little thing. We're leaving a small amount. And again, guys, this first layer, I'm using light pressure for all the colors. This is just for color placement, just to make sure I have everything the way that I want it before I go back and start applying heavy pressure. Because like I always say, it is much, much easier to add more color in than it is to take color away. So I will always start with a light layer unless I'm 100% certain a color is that's exactly what I want. All right, last one. There we go. And now finally, we are going to take our, well, we were going to take our indigo. If I can find our indigo. Or no, we went with dark umber, I believe, didn't we? No, it was indigo for this one. Alright, bear with me while I dig the indigo pencil out of the case. Because we didn't use it on the first ornament, now that I think about it. There's indigo. It's indigo blue is actually what it's going to say. Sorry for the extreme close-up of my pencil case there, guys. Alright, so we're going to take indigo blue and just in the very corners. Just a little tiny bit in the very corners. That's all we're going to do. And this is going to give us our shadow. Places where the little sides of the star are going to meet. And don't go too heavy with this, guys. It's important that we're able to get some of the dark purple back over this, or else it's going to stand out and be that bright blue, and it's going to look a lot different. So if we don't go too heavy and we leave a little bit of the tooth behind in the paper, we'll be able to get the dark purple over the top of it, and it'll work just like the shadow we hope for. But as you can see right now, it's pretty blue, and we don't want it to look like that when we're finished. So alright, last one, and then we can go back and we can start making our colors just a little bit darker. Alright, so now one more time with lilac, and we're going to do another really light layer. We're just going to go over everything with a light layer, including those corners that we just did in the blue. Nice light layer. And we'll come back to the swirls, because those I'm not even going to put the indigo in those. The indigo is going to be reserved just for the outside. Okay. Oh, I think I forgot this one. There we go. So now with dark purple, we're going to start up at the top in the corner, and we're going to work our way down toward the center. I'm going to use a heavier pressure here and gradually make it get lighter as it goes toward the center. We're going to leave just that tiny little area there for a highlight. Same here, we're going to start heavy in the corner to cover up that blue and make it shadowy. Lighten as we get toward the center. Then leave a place just lilac, heavier in the corner. We're just going to keep doing this all the way around the star. Look what I did, guys. I forgot to put some blue here. Well, silly me. Okay. Now so you guys can see that when the purple goes over top of that blue, it gives it a nice shadowy look. It doesn't really look blue so much at all anymore, which is what we want. We just want a nice shadow. All right. Again, if you're following along, heavy pressure in the corners, light pressure toward the center, and leave just a little area where you're not putting any of the dark purple at all. I'm glad I decided to go ahead and color today. I really didn't feel like it. Today's been one of those days where, I'm sure you guys have those days where you just really don't want to do anything, but you really have to. Like, you have to get up and go to the grocery store because there's literally nothing in your house. And you have to get out and go mail things off, and you have to get out and you have to go do. Today was one of those days. I didn't want to do anything. I haven't really wanted to color a whole lot the last couple days just because I haven't felt good. But now that I'm started, I'm feeling it. I'm happy. I think I'm going to end this video. When I get this ornament done, I'm going to end it. And I'm going to go back and pick up my Enchanted Forest work in progress. For those of you guys who missed it, I did receive from a very, very dear friend who wishes to remain anonymous, did receive a set of the pastel Holbeins. I have given them a preliminary shot at a couple things on some different papers. I'm not going to say anything yet, but I will go ahead and let you know that I'm not certain that I like them as much as everybody else. I know, that's blasphemy. I know, it's like the worst thing I could possibly ever say. Heavy pressure with the lilac over the whole outside of the star now. But there are some things that I'm finding that I'm just not really thrilled with those pencils. Some things I do really, really like. So I've decided that before I go jumping on the Holbein train, bandwagon, I'm going to take some more time to really, really put them to the test. Use them in some different things, in some different ways, on some different papers. And, you know, really, 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 really try to find the things I like and dislike. And there go my Prismacolor smears. Clean it up. Sorry for the noise, guys. I knew I shouldn't have done that. I love this eraser. It's like the best thing ever. I'm picking it up to blow on it. Blow all the eraser junk off. Okay, so now there's the outside of our star done. Nice and pretty. So I'm going to take dark purple and I'm going to go around the edges. Just around the edges, one edge only of the swirls. And I'm using a heavy pressure to do it. Alright guys, sorry about that. Welcome back. Not entirely certain how long I was talking to myself there, but my phone apparently decided that it wanted to stop recording. So basically what I've done is so far, because I don't know where it stopped, is I've got dark purple around one side of the swirls with dark pressure, heavy pressure, and I'm going back with heavy pressure with lilac just to color in the swirls. We're going to make them match the star, but we are not going to put the blue indigo. because I don't feel like it's incredibly necessary. And it's so small, we don't really have a lot of room to fit it in there anyway. Alright, so there is the purple part of the star that we're going to do. I'm blowing the dust off this time. I learned my lesson last time. I'm going to take a white eraser to this, guys, at some point, and I'm going to clean it up with that, because this you can't like scrub the paper with, so and all I'm doing is dragging more of the purple off. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Alright, so for this we're going to do carmine on the inside, so I'm starting with blush pink. Just a light layer of blush pink all inside. And then I think what I'm going to do is we're going to start at the corners of the star, like we did with our indigo shadow color, and we're going to work our darker colors up from there. So I'm going to take the carmine, very light pressure right about here, because we do want to leave like a small place in the center for a highlight. So I'm just going to go ahead with very light pressure and go around and mark out the area where I want my highlight to be, which is going to be like right in the center of the star. And I think that's good. So basically what you're doing at this point is you're just using a real light pressure, going in a circle and making sure you're leaving your spot that you want for your highlight. And then for the rest of it, we're going to do a gradient again. Light pressure out toward here, light pressure out toward the center, darker pressure as you come down to the point. Light pressure here, darker pressure as you come down to the point. I'm going to do this all the way around the star. And at the very, very tip, we will go in with our magenta. I like these two colors together. I think it's cute. Reminds me of kind of reminds me of this little guy. The colors in this. You could say I was inspired by my $1.50 hummingbird I picked up at Walmart. It's pretty funny. Just kind of redefining my highlight area. Making sure I have the carmine feathered in where I want it. Because this time I want to leave it this deep dark color, so when I burnish I'm not going to go over the entire thing with the blush pink. Because I like this color. So we want to kind of leave it intact as much as we can. Okay, so now for magenta. I'm going to come in at the point of the star, just at the point. And pull it out just a little. In this case, we're kind of going to have to skip that little stripe. I'm using heavy pressure here because I know that I want this magenta where it is. So there's no point in using light layers. We have our other colors in there already for depth, and this is the last color that's going here, so using heavy pressure. All right, now for our blush pink. We want it to be a little darker, so I'm heavy pressuring in the center and then pulling it out just a little bit. So I'm burnishing these two colors together with the heavy pressure, creating that highlight. I'm doing so carefully, trying to make sure that I have the same amount of pink all in the center here. And then all that's left to do now is to go back in with the carmine red and bring those together. Make sure we have all the white space filled. So we're effectively burnishing now with a carmine red, being careful that we don't, even though that we've burnished that blush pink in, we can still go over it because these are Prismacolor pencils. They're very, very soft. You can still layer color over a burnished area with these. So you do kind of have to really be careful. But I am going in heavy with the carmine now. Covering up all the white space. Even coming down just a little bit over the magenta. Just to make sure we have everything we need all filled in. Okay, lightening it up toward the center because we do want that blush pink to stand out as our highlight. Okay, I have to admit when I started on this one, I wasn't sure that the pink and purple was going to be a very good idea, or that the red and purple, but it's just cute. I like it. I'm in a red and purple mood today, so I do like that quite a bit. I do need to clean this up just a smidge. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take my blush pink and I'm going to go back over right there, just trying to get a nice clean blend out of it. And that is that, guys. That's our other ornament for the day. Our purple and red one. I'm going to zoom out and move the light so that it doesn't look so shiny. There you go. I'm proud, guys. We did a good job with these ornaments today. We actually got some festive looking ones in. So we got our red and green one in, and we'll do another red and green one too, just because those are technically Christmas colors. And then I actually like this one. I didn't think this one was going to turn out as good as it did, but I do. I'm actually really impressed with it. I think it's a pretty color, and it does a good job of bringing together our dark purple and our carmine that we chose. So that's always a good thing. So you are seeing the wax shine on there. Don't panic. That's normal. You won't see it when there's not a big bright light shining on it. There is some red dust on my page too. If you take a white, like a white plastic polymer eraser and just go over it, it'll pick it up. I have some. They're just tucked away in a drawer somewhere. I'm going to take my gold Cali Art gel pen. Since I did this one in the silver, I'm going to do this one in the gold. We're just going to do the ornament hanger with it. And that finishes it out. That finishes out our Monday Fun Day coloring. At this point, we're Monday Fun Day because we missed Sunday. So I really, really hope that you guys have had fun coloring these ornaments so far. We do still have 8 left to go. So we're going to have to get some serious work in on these. If you guys have any ideas about these colors that you want to combine together, please let me know. Leave it in the comments. Come in the Facebook group and leave a message. And we'll definitely give those a consideration. So far, I'm very, very pleased. I like the different colors. That's what I wanted, was a nice eclectic palette that kind of reflected the one we chose in the beginning. And I think we're doing a good job of getting that so far. If you're not subscribed to my channel, but you did enjoy this video today, please go ahead and subscribe now. Click the little bell button down below so that the next time I put out one of these videos, you'll get a notification. You can come and join us right away. If you like this video, please give it a big fat thumbs up so more people will see it. That's going to help my channel grow more than anything, and that way I can do more fun things for you guys. Other than that, that's really all I've got for you today. All the products that I used in this particular video, including the book, the pencils, all that jazz, even my eraser, there will be Amazon affiliate links down below in the description. If you're interested in purchasing that and you use those links, you are also helping this channel because I get just a few cents for every purchase you make through my affiliate links. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this part 3 of Erin's Christmas Color Along 2017. Part 4 will be up just before you know it. Have a good night, everybody.